What's happening? What's happening with the world? What's up with everybody? Shit. You know what time is it? See what the fuck going on? Let me wait for some more heads to pull up. We can get that motherfucker jumping off. What's happening with it? So, for me, sobriety's probably a lot more difficult to define than it is for people that take the 12-step approach. And I admire the fuck out of them because it requires a lot of discipline and requires a lot of fortitude and willingness to compromise and, you know, pain within the lines that not everybody has. And I feel like everybody's dependency issues are different. And, you know, whatever your road is, whatever your path is to getting right and being the best version of yourself, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So I don't use the same terms of equating. Like, it's not as easy for me to be like, I got sober on this date. You know, recovery time has a lot more ambiguity. But I haven't done any serious drugs for, you know, months time now, and I've, through the care of a doctor, weaned myself off of benzodiazepines, and am still in the same. I'm still on course as far as that goes, but you know, it's very, very, very easy to fall into old behavior patterns, and I wish I could say that getting clear-headed makes it easier, but once again, it's like, you know, I've spoke on multiple times in the past, it's like being confronted with bad, like, behavior patterns that are so deeply ingrained in myself, things that I do just on an intrinsic level. It's almost like sociopathic, like, is the best way I can describe it. You know what I mean? It's like it's things that are become due to just, I've been alive as a lying, cheating, stealing drug addict more years than I haven't. The years that I've been turned up and active and using survival mechanisms that were the wrong ways to get by. After doing those for so many years, it's like it becomes a part of me that I'm not even aware of, and manifests itself and rears its ugly head. And at certain times, it's like I used to always say, when my homies would be arguing and shit, like when we were like in the streets doing, you know, all kinds of foolishness, definitely drug fueled. And I remember one of my homies, free my boy Carl, free my boy Lil C, from North Oakland, 456, stand up, 4400 block. He said, He said, my game is so cold you won't even know when I'm running it. And I remember that sending chills down my spine at that age. But now it's like my game is so cold I don't even know when I'm running it. And I'm not saying that in a good way, you know? It's literally the nature of whatever my disease is, whatever, PTSD, being traumatized at a young age, seeing crazy shit, being dependent on drugs that, I started taking before my body was even fully forming, like I'm going through puberty and my entire physical makeup is getting altered permanently because I'm taking certain drugs that there's no coming back from. And once you get into shit like taking the Xans on a regular basis, if in fact you're really taking the Xans, because if you're not getting that shit straight from a doctor, I don't give a fuck what you think it is. You think your homie's got some real shit, or it's a quote-unquote good blend or whatever. 9 times out of 10, you addicted to opiates and you don't even know. Like, you taking dirty-ass fentanyl and you don't even know. If in fact you actually are addicted to benzodiazepine, it's like months down the line, you might just randomly feel the effects like you just started recovering, and you might get triggered by something that induces a panic attack, and your reaction is going to be whatever mechanisms you went to when you were high. Even if you're not getting high anymore, even if you're not off the pills, even if you're technically not taking the pills, doing whatever your drug is, you feel me? No matter what it is, you're going to go right back to the behavior. You're going to go right back to the same exact behaviors. It's like you think that getting sober or lessening the amount of drugs you're taking or whatever, you think that's going to change you instantly. Well, yeah, there's going to be some things that you are going to notice, certain things that are going to be instantly, you're going to be more coherent, and that's a good and a bad thing. If you catch my drift, you have to go through to understand what I mean by that. But beyond that, it's like all the bad behavior and the things that your brain would go to, because it's like when you get high, let's say you're like me and your benzos was your drug of choice, and at a certain point, like that's all you did. Like me, like I would like, it would make me pretty much just like eat and go to sleep, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't too much ambition tied into benzodiazepine use. A whole lot of ambivalence, and like you might make some bad decisions in who you choose to communicate with. It really is like the equivalent to letting your demons out, because there's no filter between you and your id and your unconscious mind, and you're just your most primal self. And normally I'll just go to sleep. That's what I would do. So when I'm triggered by something that makes me want to take that, what I'll do is just go to sleep. Like I'll cut out the middleman. My body will just get tired. It's like a placebo effect, a built-in defense mechanism that my body has just created as a way to deal with the lack of benzodiazepine. So it's almost like I'm actually on the shit when I'm not, So what do I tend to do in those situations is lean heavily on the people who believe in me, who are close to me, who love me. Well, obviously there's a creative process. And if it wasn't for that, and the fact that I have the lucidity mixed with the ambition, the laser, the same type of ambition that I did use to make myself the icon and battle rapper, whatever ways that I've achieved or whatever things that I did in the street that I thought I was proud of, like all that shit. I'm using that same focus on my music, which is really what got me into all this to begin with. And it's not even music, it's audio cinema, and like if it wasn't for my full immersion in that, I don't know where I would be. And if it wasn't for the people around me, like my girl, like I don't know where I would be. But it's difficult to come to terms with, because I'm dealing with the pain of like not having my same coping mechanism that I had before, and me having expectations of other people to be understanding and tolerant of my own demons, when it's not their responsibility. It's my responsibility to deal with my own demons. But when it becomes overwhelming and I don't know what to do, and you just want to lean on that person, and it's unfair to do that. And what I need to do, what we all need to do in that situation, is find the strength within. And some call it God, Christ, whatever, or you could say it's whatever the hell you want to call it, but it's whatever's inside you that makes you stronger, and you have to turn to. And it's like, at those moments of darkness, that's what really defines your character. And one of the reasons why, like the things, like the conclusions that I came to when creating my art, was I don't need to have any affectation. I don't need to try to appeal to anybody. I don't need to have any barriers. I just need to be myself and do it to the optimum ability. And the things that I've always tried to hide about myself and not embrace, like that's what I'm embracing now. The things that I was always embarrassed about and self-conscious of, that's what I'm embracing. And it's difficult to do that. And sometimes it's like, it's just because I'm doing well in that, I'll mistake that for doing well in other aspects of my life, which I need to be more on top of. And when I have demonstrated a lack of when I've already proven like to be a certain way, you know what I mean? Like I expect people to just, believe in me, and that's pure, that's drug addict behavior and thinking right there in and of itself. And it's hard because the same things that make me want to use are like the triggers that make me want to turn back to those drugs and fully embrace those demons or that negative thinking are the same things that I need to do to overcome them. So that's where it's difficult. And it's once you've been benzo free for a month, couple months, it don't matter. Like that shit's still overwhelming, and it's really hard. And it gets harder before it gets better. And I encourage people to seek professional help, as I've done. And whatever I can do, like, because I'm at the point right now, like, I try to talk and reach out to any fan that is having a hard time, anybody I know that's having a hard time, but it's getting more and more difficult. So I'm using outlets like this to talk to anybody and like to answer all y'all's questions and reach out to all y'all. And that's what I use my art for, and use myself as a vessel for in general, to help those, who still suffer, because I still suffer, and I'm still, battling my demons. And there's still people that have I've created so much negativity with myself, with other people, with the universe, that my karmic debt is not clear. And it's a mature thing, I guess you could say, not to toot my own cock, to acknowledge and come to terms with, but at the same time, it's overwhelming. And yeah, I can only afford therapy like once a month. This is the next best thing is talking to you guys and helping y'all, and it helps me too. And some days are better than others. And I have a lot of exciting things on the horizon. In moments like this, I tend to sabotage myself, and I just pray for strength and guidance to stay on course, be the best me I can, be the best partner I can to my lady, and to be the best artist I can and express that fully. That's all I want. I don't think it's asking for too much. But I know that it's not up to me ultimately. And yeah. You can see the honesty in my face. I don't lie to nobody but the police. And even then, I don't even talk. Questions, comments, anything like that, now's your time. Hyams coming soon. Town Business 2 battle event coming soon. More LA Noir art coming soon. Yeah. Much love to all of y'all. Much love, Lex. Being able to acknowledge our symptoms is a sign of growth in and of itself. Hope y'all are having a good day, night, wherever you're from, wherever you at.